Hello, everyone. It's Donna Ferguson. Welcome to Unique Vibrations Midday Show. I'm Donna Ferguson, your host and producer of the show, and this is an exciting week. This is episode 10. So I'm very excited that we've gotten through to number 10. And I just want to welcome you all. Thank you so much for stopping by. Whether you're watching this video live or whether you're watching the replay, I'd still like to know where you're tuning in from. So just pop your comments in the box below just to let me know where you are watching this from. I know that I get a lot of global views, and I'm really excited about finding out where you're all from, just to connect with you a little bit more. So today's topic, as I said, we are going to be talking about your sense of life. And the question I have for you today would be, what do you think your sense of life means? Now, most people are going to automatically go on to some area and, think about what that means for them. And there is no right or wrong answer, but I'm really excited to share what my thoughts on sense of life mean. And, I think that this is something that everybody's going to have a different view of. So for me, it's exciting to share this. And, I'd love to see any comments, hearts, thumbs up, whatever you want to share with me today, just to let me know that you're here. And also, I'd like to say that I do have a wonderful offer for you at the end of this week's show. So stay tuned to the end just to pick up on that wonderful free opportunity. And, like I said, wherever you're viewing from, whether it's the live or the replay, pop your comments in the box and just let me know that you're here and that you're watching and where you're tuning in from. I really do appreciate that you do take time out of your day to stop by and see us. I mean, it's lunchtime here in Brisbane, and, it's the perfect time to grab a cuppa, sit down, relax, and just take half an hour or so for yourself. So thank you again. So what do you think sense of life means? Well, everyone these days, look at how busy their lives are. And, it's absolutely true. Everybody is extremely busy these days. But I'm going to come back to this because I find this a really interesting terminology to use. For me, sense of life is always standing in your truth, regardless of what other people think, standing tall, holding your head up high, and, whoever's around you, whoever's doing, encouraging you or influencing you, or even, being negative towards you. It's being truthful all the time, regardless of what you're doing and how you're doing it. So, it's really important to me to say that, this is an opportunity for you to really hold your head up high and to come through and really look at where you're coming from and what you're doing. So thank you, Fazal. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to today's episode. I think also your sense of life means that your values, your beliefs, and, are definitely never negotiable. It's just something that's never up for negotiation, because if you're doubting yourself, or if you're thinking that you have to devalue yourself to actually be with a group of people or a person in order to, really establish that friendship, then quite honestly, most likely that relationship is not going to be a true meaningful relationship, in business or, whatever that relationship is. So don't ever negotiate who you are. And if you're negotiating your beliefs or your values, your integrity, is up for question. Your values are definitely up for question. And, your life's always going to be about negotiating to be with somebody else and to attract business. What service are you going to drop to negotiate that price? There's so many things that come into this, and I really do appreciate that, most of the time, when you're in business, you're offering a service and you're offering, that's your worth. Why are you devaluing that to actually be able to attract more clients? That's just something that shouldn't be done. And, you're not going to find your true purpose or your sense of life by doing this. And I'm going to cover more in depth in episode 38 about our values and how to actually keep your core values where they should be for you, and how to get through life with a non-negotiable attitude on that. So, back to the sense of life, where opportunities present themselves and they're going to be missed because, you're placing the wrong values on yourself in your life. And therefore, you're missing out on real opportunities for you to actually move forward and become more successful. So also your sense of life is really about your feelings and your intuition, and thinking of things that you do on a daily basis. Breathing, for example, which you don't need to think about. It's a subconscious action that happens every day regardless. And that can be taken as literally your sense of life. But when you look further into this, looking at your sense of life, it's about looking within and connecting with your inner self. And it's the consciousness of life rather than the subconsciousness of life, if that makes sense. So, I really think that it's important for everybody to really work on that as part of their life. But also I think it's really important for women, because women are always negotiating their value and their worth in order to be able to succeed. And you don't need to do that. We're great negotiators, but negotiate in the right areas of your life and your business for the right reasons. And so moving into, the consciousness of how busy you are, and I mentioned this before, everybody seems to be busy these days. When I ask clients or colleagues, how are you? How was your weekend? Oh, everything was busy. And I kind of freak out a bit, because I just think they're just creating more of the same by using that terminology. And again, traditionally women, when they become mothers and stay at home and look after their children and their families, things do become extremely hectic, I guess. And, they're in today's society, we're expected to be putting everyone else before ourselves. And for me, that's really disappointing that, society in a world of equality is still putting women in that category. Therefore, it's time for us to stand up and really stand in our truth and really hold our heads up and really stand for what we believe in, and, put our values and our worth forward, because to do that, we're really making a statement. And, it's time that women did make a statement. I really believe that. So what is your calling in life, and what will you put on this earth to do it? And, basically, what is your sense of life? So instead of being in a busy life and creating a schedule so that your day is full rather than busy, this is a great way to move around that and come away from there and moving into a better, more productive space. Ticking a schedule off or a list off to create, actions that you've taken during the course of the day, and being able to see the visibility of what you've achieved in one day, will tell you that you've had a hectic day, you've had a full day, your schedule, has been really put in I literally work by an alarm system. So, you know, I create alarms to go off for certain things that I have to do during the day. And, you know, that way I'm productive. That way I am creating a schedule that is full and is being finalized at the end of each day. So when the alarm goes off, I know that it's time to do so and so. And just categorizing everything and making sure that I only, you know, not wasting time, that the time that I'm putting in, hello, Krishna, welcome, my love, you know, and putting the time into your schedule and creating a less busy lifestyle and creating a full, joyous, happy lifestyle. So it makes a massive difference. And that can change your sense of life and how you live your life as well. You know, I was talking to somebody recently and I found it really great that she has all these folders in her head, and she, you know, she creates the folders to actually categorize the things that she needs to do, and they go into the folder when they're done and they come out when she recalls them. So, you know, that's the way she does it, and I think it's a great idea. And if you can trust yourself to do that and know that, you know, your time is warranted through certain time frames of the day, and you can lock into that without having the alarm system like I have. And I do that because I know time gets away when I'm doing stuff. So, you know, that's fantastic. But, you know, whatever works for you, and your sense of life and your self-worth and your beliefs will actually, you know, and your truth, standing in your truth and being able to stand tall and hold that head up and, you know, really work for what you are and what your sense of life is, will make such a massive difference. So, you know, you can change that now by, you know, when people say to you, oh, you're always, and I get this a lot, you're always busy. Every time I see you busy doing something, you're busy doing something, I just respond nice and calmly and basically say to them, oh, yes, you know, I have a very full schedule and, you know, I do keep myself on the go with lots to do. So, you know, I ignore the word busy. I have decimated that from my language. And it makes a massive difference in the way that you respond and the way that you create your daily schedule. So that's a great thing to have as well. Thanks. Yes, Krishna, it is a great tool, regardless of how you use that, whether it's an alarm or the folders. It's a great way to do it. So I do use, actually, interestingly enough, often when I go to sleep of a night, when I get into bed, I actually lay there and I start asking all the different areas of my subconscious mind to take over and go to work so that I can sleep calmly and I'm not going to be disturbed during the night. And I ask them to work together and put whatever actions and creativity they need to put together so that when I wake up in the morning, it's all there and I can just move forward. And I love it because I often, or very rarely should I say, do I wake up with things on my mind. So I just know they're all going to be taken care of. So that's wonderful. And I really do enjoy using that tool. So, you know, but your sense of life also relates to your biggest influences that you've had in your life growing up and how they treat you. You know, it's really important to understand that how you've been treated in your life is also going to have a big effect on what your sense of life is and how you live your sense of life. And did they provide you with the support to go out and chase your dreams, find your purpose in life, or did they constantly tell you that you weren't good enough or that you couldn't do it? And, you know, that way you don't hold the value in yourself. And you've got to go through some really strong healing work, I suppose, or inner work to be able to create your true purpose and your true sense of life. Value of life has come up massively this week with many people I spoke with. So brilliant on this topic this week. Seems like we really align ourselves, Krishna. There's so often that we are talking about similar stuff and, you know, how things come up. and when you're sitting there listening, it's very easy to pick up on things that, have affected you during the week or the past week. And, I know I was looking at, I look at your videos and your bits and pieces, and even, different sessions that we've had really do create so much more clarity for me as well. So I think we contribute really well to each other. And I was watching Margarita this morning, and I tell you what, that was a massive launch that she did today. I'm really looking forward to seeing some more of her stuff. So where was I? Sorry, I've kind of lost where I was up to. We get very sidetracked, and it's very easy. And it's been so cold this morning. I don't know what it's been like where you are, Krishla, but definitely was very cold here this morning. So I've done, yeah. So, think about what your influences have been. And yes, we are. Think about, what your influence, who your influences are, and how you can start changing the way that this mindset interferes with your true sense of life and your true, your truth, really. Because it does make a difference, and unless you acknowledge it, it's just not going to work for you. So it's really time to start allowing your light to shine really brightly. We're all diamonds, and we just need that shining light to come through, and for that diamond to really, capture the sunlight and really let us move forward. So, I love that we can, and I know not every day is going to be really great. So, let the diamonds shine while they can, and, make the most of the opportunities. And there's often very silent opportunities that come by. And unless you're really tuned into what's going on around you, those opportunities will slip by before you even realize it. So, some of the opportunities that come your way are not going to be right for you, and it's easy to walk away from those, and if you're not truly aligned. And understand that your sense of life and yours alone will sometimes mean spending some time on your own as well. So if you anybody who's doing this journey and creating their purpose and moving forward and going through personal growth is always going to have that times when they want to spend time together to gain the clarity that they need, and to have a look inside and find out whether or not there's some fears there that are stopping them, and how they can walk through that, and looking at their processes and their thought processes. And in the coming weeks, I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff on thoughts and language and, your movement and, all sorts of things. And these are all segments over the next few weeks from my book. And I really wanted to put those into, my show, because it's really important that you do understand that all these things flow on from each other and create where you're at today. So just to show you, I do have a copy of my book here. So this is a copy of my book, 7 Steps to Emotional Freedom, Mind, Body and Soul. And that was written in 4 days, and took a lot longer to finalize the publishing because, that takes time, I guess. But thanks, Krishna. So, it would really, really help if you wanted to have a look at that and just see. There is an ebook, there's and it's also on Amazon. So, and if you've got a Kindle, you can download it to that. But it's really amazing to know that once you're a published author, it's not about the book, it's actually about the game behind the game. It gives you credibility. I've used it as a business card in the past. I've done giveaways. I've done all sorts of things. So, it's an amazing opportunity just to have that, just to back up where you are and what you do. So yeah, I wanted to take some extracts out of that book over the next few weeks, over probably the next 6 or 7 weeks, and really share some of that information, and it will flow on. So Krista, see, what one thing would you do daily to increase your value of life? I think, for everybody it's different. Really importantly is to really start looking at your thought processes. So when you get a thought, I'm so tuned into my thought process that if a thought comes into my head, I can actually stop. You have that, and I think a couple of weeks ago we did something on this. You have a 5-second window where you can actually act on that thought, or you can change the outcome of that before it hits your conscious mind. So it's really important to go, hey, hang on a minute, why am I thinking that? Or where did that thought come from? But most of the time, before we actually realize that those thoughts, for a lot of people, you already started sabotaging yourself, because that one thought has created several thoughts, which has created the sabotage, the procrastination, and all those things. So if you can totally tune into what that thought process is, what that thought is, where it's come from, and I have lots of processes that can be used to understand where it comes from and know who it is that has influenced that thought, and be able to change that thought by triggering different things and overriding that. And it's a lot deeper than that. That's a really quick explanation of what that is, but it does take a lot more than that. And my Decode Your Blocks coaching program actually covers all that in great depth. And it's a 8-week program that actually gives you the flow so that your whole life can actually literally be changed after 8 weeks, because of the understanding that you have and the clarity and the focus that you get from that. So, always remembering also that gratitude would have to be the foundation under your bridge of life. And, I know that we all look at different things and, have gratitude for where where we are at in life. Sorry, I've had a breakfast meeting and I've had my masterclass I've run today as well. So I'm probably starting to feel a bit out-talked. But so the bridge and the frame represent how you live your life and the results that you achieve through that. And gratitude will show you the path of your life, providing you with a sense of life. So it's all, about your energy, where you're at, and how you create more in your life. And, it's important to stay very conscious. So, you can change your DNA belief system. It's easy. And, people say, well, no, you can't. That's what I'm born with. Well, actually, you can. And, it is really easy to change that if you know how. And, I have a lot of processes within that program where those things can really change your whole life and change them rapidly. And, as a rapid success therapist for vibrational alignment, that gives the power to be able to change those things very, very quickly. Along with the, what do you call it? Wow, blank. Okay, move on. It might come to me in a moment. So, walk through life consciously and, make sure that your path is clear, and listen to the silent moments. That's another huge nugget, I think, Krista, as well. It's, in relation to what you were saying, take the silent moments and listen to what's in between those silent moments so that your thoughts can breathe, and see what you can take out of those silent moments. That's really important to really acknowledge those and see what comes from that. Yeah, absolutely, stepping off autopilot. So, this week I am going to show you the 5-day challenge, Raise Your Vibration. Again, that's a free program that will start next Thursday on the 9th. And, that is a registration that is on Facebook as well. So I will put the actual link in the comments, and you will be able to register for that, and that will give you some really great information as well. So really up to you whether or not you want to come along to that if you've got time. I think it's like maybe 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning. It will start. You can do it once you register, you can do it at your own pace. I will come in and answer any questions that you have. And, I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be the second one that I will have done. So I'll be doing those monthly as well. And, that Raise Your Vibration will really create more in your life. And it's really about everybody being conscious in their life and not allowing those little challenges to overtake where you're headed. I mean, they're simply challenges. There's always a solution, and you can move through that. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. Until next week, be extraordinary, not ordinary. And I feel really blessed and very grateful that you've all been here today. And whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay, let me know if you've got any questions. I'm more than happy to answer those. So have a lovely week. Love to all of you. And as I said, be extraordinary. See ya. Bye. See you, Krishna. You're welcome.